Skeleton Key here. And guess who got her Winterween sweatshirt? Yay! Of course, Winterween is over. Has been for a while now. But I'm excited that I got my sweatshirt, and yeah! So I did kind of okay at Winterween this year. It was, of course, fun. Let's see. So there were 5 prompts. And the first one was read a book in the dark or at night. So I ended up listening to The Planet Savers by Marion Zimmer Bradley. And that is the first book in the Darkover series. And I will talk about that a little bit more in my Darkover video series. So I'll probably be putting up a video before too terribly long. I'll probably wait until after I listen to the second book in the series, which is all in the same audiobook, and that they're novellas, and that is the Sword of Aldenese, I think it's how it's pronounced. I'll have to listen to it again and listen to the whole book, and by the end of that I should know how to pronounce it. And I'm also counting that for the 4th prompt, which was to read a novella. I had been reading La Belle et la Bête and realized now I'm going to finish The Planet Savers well before I finish La Belle et la Bête. So prompt number 2 was read a book with a winter setting. And for that I read Twelfth Night, the season 5 New Year special, so a lost episode. And that is by Jolie Black. And I found that over on AO3, an archive of our own. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so I'm not much into fanfic, but I'm glad that prompt was on. I think that was on the Pop Sugar Challenge last year. I'm glad it was there because it kind of prodded me to give that a shot, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I will probably read more from there. Of course, those don't show up on Goodreads because they're not published exactly. So yeah, fanfic is a whole nother ball game. So prompt number 3, read a book with snow on the cover, and I did not get this one. I did not finish Ice Wolves by Amy Kaufman. I have it here still somewhere. No, it's upstairs. Actually, I'm not sure where it is. It's somewhere in the house. I do know that. And I do plan to finish it. It's a middle grade book, a little adventure story with ice wolves and dragons, and yeah. So yeah, I'll finish reading that. I think there's a prompt on a challenge to read a book with a map, and that one definitely has a map. So then read a book that gives you thrills and chills, and I was reading Airborne by Kenneth Opel, and I switched to audiobook, and so they pronounced it for me, and I've already forgotten if it's Opal or Opal or something else that I can't really wrap my brain around yet. So in future videos I will probably pronounce that correctly. But that is kind of a steampunky adventure with like airships and unknown creatures, and the paperback that I had has to go back to the library, but I switched over to the audiobook, which was available on Hoopla, and it's a full cast production, so that's really cool. And I'm enjoying the heck out of that, but I did not finish it in time to count it for Winterween. And I thought about counting The Planet Savers for that one, but even though I could tell it was supposed to thrill and chill me, I did not find it that engaging. I think because the main character, I didn't really care for him, and yeah. So yeah, that's the 5 prompts. I ticked off 3 of them, which that's more than half. Also that week was Bout of Books 33. Round 33. Wow. Let's see. The only other book that I finished that week was Pan's Labyrinth, The Labyrinth of the Faun by Guillermo del Toro and Cornelia Funke. And I have not watched the movie yet. I really want to watch the movie now, even though I'm going to have to make sure that I'm feeling stable emotionally. Yeah, that is a very intense book. I guess it's YA. That, wow. I mean, the protagonist is young, so I guess that's why it gets shelved as YA. But man, that is dark. Do not read that book or watch that movie. I'm guessing watch that movie if you're not ready for something very, very dark. Yeah, I thought it was great though. Then The Storyteller, Tales of Life and Music by Dave Grohl. I have now finished that. I really enjoyed it. That was for the nonfiction book club that I'm in, and I think we all enjoyed that one. It was, and I'm, I've never really paid much attention to, I didn't even know who Dave Grohl was. I'd heard the name, and I don't think I'd even, my brain had even really gotten so far as to go, oh yeah, he's a drummer. But that was, I mean, there were parts of it that I was just like, okay, yeah, you went to a bunch of parties where there were a bunch of famous people and you had a great time. But most of the book was really, I thought, insightful and thoughtful, and seeing somebody kind of similar to me in a lot of ways, but such a very different person with very different life experiences. So I really enjoyed listening to his story. Charms and Chocolate Chips by Bailey Cates. That is the, I believe, third book in the Magical Bakery series, and I just finished that today, and it was a lot of fun. And there was a little bit of monologuing at the end, and so it's not my favorite in the series so far, but I'm gonna. I really like the author, and I think I like her. There's another series that I've read and that I think I like better than this one. But this one's what we're reading this year, and I like them enough to do that. Footsteps in the Dark by Georgette Heyer. And that was for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas. That was the group read. But I did make progress on that. And then I started A Song for a New Day by Sarah Pensker. I'm looking forward to getting back to that because that's for a book club coming up. And as I mentioned, I did read a little bit more on La Belle et la Bête and that's the version by Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve. Yeah, I have to write it down because I can't remember that. And yeah, Bout of Books, I had a really wacky week, and so I didn't make any of the Twitter reading sprints or the Twitter chats. I didn't participate in anything. I don't think I even posted any updates on the blog. Yeah, occasionally I used the hashtag on Twitter. So my year is not off to a great start, but I'm also just very it's whatever. But anyway, there's my Winterween and Bout of Books 33 reading. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you in the comments below if you've read any of these books, or if you did either of these readathons, and how that went for you. Till later, please like and subscribe, and see you around.